Okay, got a really fantastic recipe for you here now. It's a healthy option, 450 calories, 15-minute prep time. And what it consists of is roast cod wrapped in Parma ham with a lovely tomato dressing on top of that. Also using long grain and wild rice with basil through it, and then also roasted tomatoes on the vine. So how we're going to start with, we're going to make the marinade first, which is almost the dressing that we're going to spread onto the top of the cod. So we're going to take 75 grams of sun-roasted tomatoes, it's about 10 in number. Because it's a healthy option, we want these really intense flavours coming through. So we're just going to chop the sun-dried tomatoes so that you start to work them into a paste. So we're going to add those into the bowl. We're going to add a pinch of black pepper. And I'm going to take a teaspoon of garlic. These pots are really good because you can open them and put the lid back on and put them in the fridge, so you haven't got herbs and garlic going off in your fridge, and then you can use them for all sorts of things. I'm just going to chop those a little bit more. I'm going to add that into my chopped tomatoes. And I'm going to take one fresh shallot. I'm going to do fine chop, so take the length of the shallot and slice it as fine as you can, and then run the knife through lengthways twice. And this way, when I come to chop it, I get a lovely fine shallot. And then using the chopping knife, chop that down. You want to keep that crispness in there. And then we've got these fresh herbs, an Italian style mix, which has rosemary, sage and oregano in. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of that chopped up and put into our paste as well. We're going to add a tablespoon of the oil from the tomatoes into our paste. And there we've got a thick paste that we're going to add onto the cod, nice and coarse, lots of tomato shallots and the herbs and the garlic in there, and black pepper. Okay, first things first, we're going to put the oven on, 200 degrees, onto a fan. Next step, we take our cod, and then what we're going to do here is skin side down onto the board. You've got that lovely flesh side up. We're going to take our tomato paste and we're just going to spread that on top of our cod. You've probably got enough for a tablespoon for first serving. Our Parma ham, best way to use the Parma ham to wrap is take it straight out the fridge, because that way it's easier to then get off the plastic and lay it out. On this we'll probably use two slices. Where the plastic is lined in, you just take each slice out and then take the plastic off. And then what we're going to do there is just lay the ham out onto the board so that you have the fat in the same place. And then with that, we just turn that over so that when we wrap the cod, you see those 2 lines of fat. And then we put the cod tomato down and then just wrap it. And when you roll it over, you have it really neat with your lines of fat. Okay, put the last cod into the roasting tray. While that's in there, we're going to add some tomatoes. And you want to use about 250 grams of tomatoes. And then we're just going to sprinkle those with olive oil. And then we'll pop that in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. We're going to serve this on a bed of rice, long grain and wild. We're going to add a basil puree to it, which is served in these jars. And then we're going to add, all you need to do is boil water, a pinch of salt, and boil for 18 minutes, and then strain, and then add your basil puree. So we're going to strain this rice now. We're going to add a tablespoon of chopped basil from our jar range. And also we're going to serve some blanched green beans with this, which you just want to bring your water up to boiling, add your beans, cook them to how you'd like them, al dente or soft, strain them off and then add them to your dish when your cod's ready. Okay, the fish is ready. We're going to take that out of the oven now. Just take a lemon, cut a small amount off and just squeeze that over the top, just to add a little bit more flavour onto the fish. We're going to serve the rice, the tomatoes, the cod and French beans. Wild rice, long grain rice with basil. Take some of our lovely roasted tomatoes on the vine, a piece of our cod. Add the French beans and there you have it. Cod with Parma ham, sun-dried tomatoes, long grain wild rice, French beans and roasted tomatoes on the vine. And what goes really well with this is this beautiful Bourgogne Pinot Noir, lovely smooth and fruity red wine.